Oh, that's loud. Hey, what's going on, guys? Everybody, I'm going to pause this printer here in a minute when we get fully started, so it won't be loud. No game actually. Hey, U.S. Navy. Hey, Brandy White. Hey, Mike. Hey, Grams. Hey, Sean. Hey, Randy. Tony. I got to turn this audio down. Sorry about that. Tony and Martez. Jr. Hope you guys are doing good. Soliak is going to join me here in a minute. We're going to talk about uh, public records requests and how to do them. Pretty easy. Let's see that. I think he's going to join me. He says he is. Please just move. All right. Let's see. Too fast. Thank you for that, Darren. Appreciate it. Tim, Jr. So yeah, we're going to talk about public records requests today. Let me see if Snappy's in here, wherever he is. I'm going to message him. Yeah, this is a comfortable chair. It's pretty good. And if there's anybody that does want to join, feel free. Hey, Thomas. You can use that link right there. Let's see. Where's he at? That you guys were. Should have had it set up a bit ago. I keep talking today, but we're gonna get squared away here. Oh, shoot. I told him 12:45. Where's he at? All right. So what we're gonna do. Brandy White has been fighting some stuff with Volusia County. They're trying to prohibit some free speech at their council meeting, and I think they tabled the issue the other day. So Brandy's been doing that right there. Blue Statute 119 are refused all the time, and I'm going to show you how the easiest way to do it is. Take some time. Allison B says, "Hello, oh hairless one, watching from the UK." Yeah, I think I shaved my face. If that's what you're referring to, I gotta see how much is left on this print. 55 minutes. Pause it. Due to public outcry, thank goodness, can't do it alone. I know. And hey, I was gonna try and be there, but here's the problem. I didn't know it was at 9:30 in the morning. What a way there to be able to set up a public meeting and have it to, when normal people are working and you can't figure out, oh crap, it's not at 6 o'clock like every other one. So that was about it. I don't know where he's at. I'm gonna start without him, I guess. So as you guys can see, we got us on the screen there. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a public records request. Pick a random city. Whatever one is here. Oh, you can do one from Florida Health. And Yeah, so what this is going to do is it's going to teach you guys how to get these refined, because anytime that they can give you an ability to basically deny you, they can and will. And we will do this. Sunshine Manual. Brady White says no. They stop public comment altogether. Only email on agenda can be in person, but only in the beginning, not after the hearing. Oh, I know, it's crazy. Yeah, Chris, it's the name there, James Madison at gmail.com or James Madison. All right, so this is the 2020 edition. We'll put this in chat for you here. This is for Florida, guys, and each one of your states probably has one. The great thing about this is, just a second. This. I just got to do a little bit more housekeeping, and then I'll be officially fully ready. I hear a beat. That must be Solo Yacker. Let me bring him in here, and otherwise I'm going to be like so much dead time, and he can talk some. He's in.
What up? What up? Get me in here. I want to play.
You're in here.
Oh, there we are. Yeah. What up?
So,
sorry, man. I was trying to use my phone.
Different types of public records requests, and he's constantly doing them. I've given him some tips as well. So I want to make sure that I give you the same tips that I do when you're doing public records requests, because it really helps in order for you guys to get effective public records requests. So let's see, none of the above. We're going to submit that. All right, we're ready. I think. So slow. Hey, from Sweden. Hey, nice to see you over there. What's up?
Yeah, my internet's slow too.
Yeah, Brandy got charged with a felony, I think it was, and then they dropped it. She cited one of the friends of the channel there, Madonna versus Fernandez, in her defense. And that was it. All right, so I posted that book in there, and we're going to pull that up over here so you guys can see it. Once again, that is Sunshine Manual. Point. Easy to find. We'll put it in chat one more time, but this is the rules and the law that they have to kind of abide by. And what we're going to do is, this one's great because it's like searchable. You can come in here and type in the word fee and then search and find out where everything of fee is in here, and it's going to highlight it right there where fee is. So this is great. A lot of these PDFs are able to be searched like that. So what we did is we're going to, like I said, public records request. We're going to just type in public records request. And I encourage you guys to be able to learn this, so that just in case you need to get some information. The first three that come up are, look at that, city of Daytona Beach. I'm going to find one I haven't done before, but there's a lot of them. Let's see, we'll go to page 2 and see if there's anybody on here. A lot of these places have like GovQA or archive.org or archive.net or some service that they ultimately will have you sign into a portal and get your request. So let's do Sarasota. So Sarasota, they always have a landing page, and what's going to be on that landing page is just their warning to you, I guess it is. And the warning to you is that they are going to abide by like rules and laws and so on and so forth. And they should provide you a fee schedule. They should provide you what to expect. I don't say that they have to, but they do. And here we go, right here. Here's the fee schedule. And what's great about this is if you remember the video with Daytona Beach, they wanted to charge, I think it was like initially $8 per CD, and then they brought it down to $2, and then we got it down to 18 cents. Well, Sarasota already looks like they're in the, within the law right there, 35 cents, probably still high. And we're going to do a public records request on how much the last invoice was for the DVDs. So that's what we're going to do today, just because I see 35 cents. And it's going to be funny because they may get back to us sometime next week or whatever, and I'll just have to post it in the comments here, so you guys have to follow up with that. So, all right, let's do it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go through here, and I am going to do. Let me see this real quick. All right, so. It's spelled anonymous, right? Yeah, there we go. So what we're going to do is you're going to put your email in here. And then we're going to put you don't have to give your name or your address on almost all public records. U.S. Navy, if you want to do that, do what I'm doing here, but do it on whatever location you want to do that. I'm not going to be able to check on records on specifics. I'm just doing this here for an example. So the records that we're going to be doing is going to be a general information. Hello. I'd like to receive a copy
And I'll let people know about a little public record request that I'm waiting on. It's been about 2 months, and it is the Andrew Gillum body cam footage. And they finally said that they're probably going to be releasing it this week. And the time frame, like they say a reasonable amount of time, but they don't ever specify a how many days that is reasonable.
Yeah.
So that's like even like how do you define reasonable to anybody?
Reasonable would be for them to get the record, research it, put it in queue, and get it in there. So then if you want to try and find a violation of that, then what you would do is you would say, as of between this date and this date, how many records did you fulfill? And if they say 3, then it wasn't reasonable. That's how you're going to have to find out if it was reasonable.
Right.
But most of the time, records clerks are always doing like filing reports, making sure the reports are done, all the paperwork is done correctly, and then they get on top of this. They're getting on how much other stuff that they have to do with public records, so they're getting things thrown on top of them, because not a lot of places have their own public records. It's, a custodian that sits there and does records all day long. They have multitask. So anyway, all right. So It says, "Hello, I'd like to receive a copy of receipt for the DVDs purchased you provide for public records." Below this form is a fee schedule. Indicates 35. My zeros in front, 0.35 per this. Thank you. That's it. That's all we're going to do. You got to check this little thing. I'm not a robot. We'll hit submit. And hopefully it will just go through. Thank you for your submission. And then once we do that, we should get, where did my email go? Oh, where'd my email go? There we go. Let's see. All right, so you should get some type of an email back from them, just kind of like.
And what James Madison doing is, go ahead, bud. Yeah.
So you might get something back from them that says you are going to ultimately get a response back from them acknowledging that they got that there. So One
And
thing
the good thing about what James is doing through the email is at least it creates a record.
yes. So Solo Yacker likes to
And I've
call.
learned the hard way about calling him in because sometimes I end up getting too many and I
Right.
forget about them.
Yeah, so he likes to call in a lot. He'll call in and be like, "Hey, I want this record," and then they take the information down, and then he's messaging me saying like, "Hey, I've tried to get them, but yeah, I can't find out whether they don't know where the record is." And I'm like, "Do it in email. Do it in email." So the reason why I did that simple one like that, let's go to another one. We'll do public records request. The reason why I did that in that manner like that is I did one single one. Now, when you do a public records request, you might have, the urge to sit here and say like, I want to get the body camera, I want the report, I want the 911 call, I want this, I want his record, I want his file, I want this and that and this and that and this, and it adds up. But what happens usually, no charge. If I put a no charge in here, you're going to see the public records rules in Florida for that. And then we're going to jump to a St. Johns County. Fees. If I type in the word minutes, minutes and meetings and contracts, we'll do this one here. Time. What I'm looking for is looking for their keyword. We're going to have to go to a different one here because I didn't have this prepared. So we are going to jump into no charge. Here we go. This one. This is whatever cadaver is and charge. We're going to find charge. And it says mostly on the websites for the different agencies, they'll specify a charge and how much it is. The first like 30 minutes are usually free. But when you start adding all of those things in there, like 10 different requests, they compile that in and say, all right, it's going to take me an hour and 10 minutes to fulfill this request for him. And it says right here, there's no charge to inspect records or copy using equipment. You bring the exchange, and the exchange is not for the first class, 5 years, 5. This kind of isn't the same thing that I'm trying to look for, but most cities will charge you once you're over 30 minutes. Once you're over 30 minutes, then they start charging at the lowest rate that the employee that can fulfill that request is. And once they are able to get a charge from you, they run with it the whole way. They don't give you the first 30 minutes and then charge you after that. They charge you from 0 to 1 hour. And then sometimes that will get you into $15 to $30. Brandy White had if she's in here, Brandy White had a bill for, what was it, $400,000, Brandy? See if she writes in here. I think she had a bill once for $400,000.
Hundreds of dollars really quick.
Yeah, it's easy. And it gets in there pretty fast like that. So what you want to do is you want to break down your request. You want to get one request done. And then once you get that one fulfilled, send the next one in. But don't clump them all in one. And that's if, you can set up a point. Yeah, she's been charged. So what she's saying here, she's been saying it's usually free to inspect records without taking them, but they've been charging her, and are actually not charging her, but avoiding her not letting her see the record. Period. But what this whole thing is about is you want to make sure that you want to minimize your request. Like if I show you my outbound request here, let me see if I have some. So like this one right here, this is for Temple Terrace, Florida. Please see the attached. Good afternoon. Wanted the number of arrests made on January 1st, 2020. And then she replied back and gave that information. I don't know what it was. There we go. There's the arrest. So she did a screenshot of that, sent that back to me. Now, if I would have asked Marlene here, Marlene Cadona, the clerk for Temple Terrace, how many requests you have, and give me all of the reports, and I want the CAD cases, I guarantee you I'd have got a bill for probably about $15 or $20. Yeah. And like Mr. Harass just posted this in here. He says, let's do a records request then for that employee's entire 2,080 hours of work done for the year. Once you do that, Mr. Hurst, you're going to get probably $1 million bill for that, because they're going to go back and be like, what did you do on this day? What was provided this day? You're going to get such a bill that it's not going to be even feasible. What was provided this day? You're going to get such a bill. Your audio, you got to fix that audio on that. Your audio. You got to turn the audio down on one of those. So
I just switched over to my phone. My internet sucks here.
All right, cool. So what Mr. Harass is saying is that he wants to do this entire work week, and that's going to get you nailed there. But you can do like, hey, what was produced and provided by this employee on this date and time? If it's an official record, they'll give it to you, but more than likely they're going to be like, we don't know. That's what they're going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, and what James is saying, if you want to do it and take it, if you've got the money for it, go ahead and try to get those, all in one shot. But if you break it up, it does make it a lot. Like he's saying, 30 minutes. If it's only 30 minutes of work, it's going to be pretty much free, if any charge. But after that, like I've legitimately gotten records that were like, oh, it's going to be $1,000, $500, and I'm like, yeah.
All right, so here we go. This is Orlando Police Department. We'll review. This is their step-by-step thing. So it's kind of giving you. They want to make it easy for you to get it, and ultimately just help you out with getting the records. Traffic crash reports. If you try to get a traffic crash report, it's pretty hard to get one unless you're the party of the crash. But if you're one of those people that are involved in the crash, they usually would give it to you. So I don't ever do crash reports. There's no reason for me to. They want you to get the date of incident, case number, keywords, name of people involved in the location, and then you can request. We'll review request. It takes 2 days. You'll receive confirmation email, records request, and notice any fees we charge if locating and copying the request. Take a large amount of time. If we think there will be a fee, we'll let you know before we begin. If the cost is greater than 100, they need a deposit before we can start. If there is a fee for your request, they take payments in check and cash, of course. And you can mail it to that address right there. So, you can mail a cashier's check if you want to still remain anonymous, but the technique that I do is going to keep it to where you don't pay. I guess Solar Acre's losing connection. Is he back? I hear his lawnmower in the background. We'll look up Tampa as well. So this is another one. It's so easy to find, and this is what I suggest. If you need to get something, do it in little pieces at a time rather than that. This one doesn't have fees, so what we're going to go is we're going to go back into the back. There you are. We're going to look at fees in here and see where they charge for fees inspecting. So we need to go to page 176, and I'll zoom in on this so you guys can see it. Fees for inspecting, copying public records, and we'll get down to 176. Here we go. I'll just scroll, it'll be easier. 89, what was that? Was 76. And this is what sucks about all this. It's a lot of stuff in here, and if you don't read it all, there's always exemptions. There's case law in this manual. Get in there, guys. We promise. There we go. 176. Made it. Let me check chat before I get on this. Always $100 cut off for the ask. They still want it. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I did that. It says, what law school did you go to? No law school there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so where's fees at? I wish I could highlight it. All right, so fees for inspecting public records here. It's a statutory duty imposed by the legal or the legislature upon all records custodians. There's case law about it. Custodians and should not be considered a profit-making or revenue-generating operation. That's part of the law. That's also in the statute, if I remember correctly. Thus, public information must be open for inspection without charge unless otherwise expressly provided by law. And that's where this Davis versus McMillan comes in. And I copied that and noted it up. See that it's it is an actual case. Lots of stuff to read in there. I think this is it right here.
Now, when they define as profit, like even if you put it out on whatever channel, that's not really. Are you making profit off of a records request if you host it or put it out on for people to watch?
You asking that as a question?
Yeah, more of a question.
No, this is for the clerks. They can't. This is not a profit or revenue making generation operation. So if they buy 100 pack of CDs for $19, they can't charge $25 for that CD pack. They can only divide. If it's 100 pack and it's $19, that's 19 cents each.
Right.
That's what they can charge. They can't charge for going and getting it. They can't charge for picking it up. They can't add that stuff in there. So. Let me see. So, all right. So in this one here, the only fees that can be charged or authorized by statute may be imposed by individuals seeking access to public records. The fact that the records sought to be inspected as a tape recording opposed to a written document is of no import so far as the imposition of the fee for inspection is concerned. A lot of word in there. They got another case law in here. So, and this is the most important one. In addition, the agency may adopt a policy imposing a reasonable special service charge based on the actual labor costs for the clerical personnel who are required, due to the nature of the volume of public records, to safeguard such records from loss or destruction during their inspection. That's an AGO is an attorney general opinion, in case you come across that ever. AGO 11 says the requested records were described in original documents have no recorded or maintained counterparts, such by their nature, they would need to be heightened degree of protection. So basically, it means, I guess, you can make a copy of it. I guess that's what that's saying. And then here's where it gets into more of that. If no fee is prescribed elsewhere in the statutes, 119.4A1 authorizes the custodian to charge a fee up to 15 cents. This is for all of the for the pieces of paper and everything like this. They specify exactly what they can charge in the statute. 15 cents per copy. A charge of $1 may be assessed for a certified copy. That's it, $1. I can't go any further than that. Catch up to this. Further copies, the charge is limited. The cost of duplication for the record. And the phrase actual cost of duplication is defined as the cost of the material and supplied used to duplicate the public record, but does not include the labor, costs, and overhead associated with such duplication. That's exactly where those DVDs came into play. They wanted to charge $8 for them or $6, whatever it was. Well, they may have been saying it took me an hour to go get them, and that pack of CDs now has a value of, instead of $19, $35. And then they divide that by 100 CDs, which is still 35 cents. So that's where they're getting into this here. Labor costs, and that's pretty much, I think that's pretty much it. And here's where emails get into play. Like when we're searching for emails or information technology, IT, special service charge for extensive use of clerical or supervisory labor or extensive information technology. The Florida statutes provide the nature of the record to be inspector copy requires the extensive use. In addition to the actual cost of duplication, a reasonable service charge based on the cost actually incurred by the agency for such use of information technology or resources or personnel. When warranted, the special service charge applies to the request for both the inspection and the copies. So this is a case of the second DCA, I think it is, in 2008, Board of County Commissioners versus Highland County, or of Highland County versus Colby. So case law everywhere in here. I mean, it's going to be hard to do, but most of the time, if you want to just look at this and they deny you, you can come in here. And they even define in here 119.4D it identifies extensive. Says does not identify the legislature's intent to as what maybe can constitute extensive use and provides no definition of that term. So what they're doing, this manual is letting the custodian of records saying, hey, there's no definition of what is extensive. So if it's not normal for you to just grab it and send it over, then that's it. But even reviewing an email could be extensive because I have to do this over here, but now I have to do this for 10 minutes when I was doing, it's just the way they can potentially word things.
Yeah, and that would be the things like, I think whenever I hear, oh, it's been 3-4 weeks and you haven't even emailed me, you haven't called me, I've called you, and I'm just looking for like what's going on, and I always get the same excuses as, oh, there was a bunch in front of you. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm like, I ask them if they have that list in front of them. I'm like, if you have the list and you're looking at it, then you can go ahead and scan it and email it to me right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then I'm like, that way I understand where I'm at. And then right after that conversation happens, a lot of times I get an email saying, oh, here's your record.
Yeah, exactly. So, and as I was saying in the beginning, there's a lot of people, and when you watch my videos, the disclaimer is I don't hate the people that are in this business doing this work, but I want to make sure that they do understand that, hey, when you're looking for something, you just can't say to us like, oh, we did it because we can. Well, some people want to find out what it is. And a lot of comments that I get are like, mind my own effing business, mind this. It's like, great. But when you have a house and you have taxes you're paying, you're like, wait a second, I want to make sure this stuff is, legitimately happening and being used for the right thing. So when you start asking for records, when like Solier, you're saying, when they say, hey, there's a lot in front of you, and you simply ask, like, let me know which ones are in front of me, and then you instantly get it, it's just calling them out on the bluff. Understandably, they are busy on other things, probably, like I said, checking reports and things like that. But a little tiny bit of pressure has them folding to give you the records right away. And I mean, you just have to do what you have to do. Constantly follow up. So back into that, here's the calculation of labor costs that they say here. And this is boring, but hopefully you guys will appreciate this and understand it. If you didn't get this earlier, what I'll do is I'll put this in here. We'll put this link to this in here. You can have that. Calculation of labor costs. The Board of Commissioners versus Colby here indicate that the court approved county special service charge pursuant to the statute, which included both the employee's salary and benefits in calculating the labor cost of the special service charge. Recognizing, however, that service charge must be reasonable and based upon the actual incurred or arbitrarily to the county. So what they're saying is not only do they do the hourly, they can do the hourly rate, they can also calculate their total salary that they make, including benefits in there, which is crazy. But they still try to do it the lowest rate. I've never come across this where someone says like, oh, we charge, lowest hourly rate was $18, but we also tacked on their benefits like health insurance and things like that because they were working. It has to be actually incurred. It can't be like it's going to be 40 hours and then they actually do 30 hours and they have to bill you that amount.
I just want to let everybody know it's a beautiful day here in the Treasure Coast. You can see the picture you're looking at right now. It makes me want to go out and go fishing. Makes me want to go out and enjoy this beautiful weather. How's the weather up there?
It's the same. Yeah, it looks the same, sunny and stuff like that. So so here's one right here. We're going to jump onto the clerk of the Daytona Beach here. I just got a request from them, and this specifically says it right here. So they have the fee service charge right here. So we'll zoom in on that so you guys can see it really well. Photocopies per statute, 15 cents, 20. In addition, the costs are governed by established by photo statute. After the first 30 minutes, a fee of $13.78 per hour will be incurred for extensive time and use of resources or clerical labor. And this is pretty reasonable for the city of Daytona Beach if that's all they charge flat. This is if I start asking for IT, because IT guys in the cities probably make anywhere from 25 to 35 an hour. But if they're only doing it for $13.78, it's reasonable under that statute. I mean, they shouldn't charge anyway, in my opinion, but someone could be constantly just inundated with requests for records like this. So Daytona has it right there. But Daytona didn't have it right because they wanted to charge for their DVDs. So it's like, oops, not good. Let me look at that. So now that that's said, I want to look at the chat and see if there's any questions at all. Ooh, look at this one. This is a good one. We'll jump into questions here in just a second, but this is a good one because I had this happen too. And it happens to get in the news a lot. This is one here from the News Journal, and it says that the attorney for Mayor Clint Johnson has threatened to sue the city and law firm that represents over public records. This is DeBerry, it looks like. Doug Daniels' attorney requested documents, including emails between the members of the area council and all the way back to 2015. The city has informed that Daniels' finding and reviewing and redacting would cost $2,300 and something right there. So you can see there's the charge, how it adds up for how long is this request? A year. Just a year of emails, looking at emails. Now, policies always say that you can't put information that needs to be redacted in email, and you can't use HIPAA information, and you can't use criminal justice CJIS confidential information. So I don't know why they need to redact. And then just like Daniels here, this attorney says, the city is putting up roadblocks so citizens don't have access to their government. Our page in the First Amendment Foundation said it is very expensive to get emails. It just doesn't jump out at me. So she's in support of saying, like, you can't be charging them. And then most cities are saying 30 minutes is extensive. Initially, Daniel's request was larger and included all emails and correspondence between city council members and residents involving city business. Before his request was arrived, it was expected to take 400 hours at 17,000. City man, yeah. See, that's what happened. And I think with Brandy, I suggested I was like, do a public records request for the .pst file, and they wanted like 400,000.
Yeah, I heard that.
So you can see that this is a common,
reasonable.
So you can see that this is a common tactic in order to get you to not be able to access records, and that's what this mayor and attorney from DeBerry got. I guarantee he got those emails afterwards. But watch this. Here's what we're going to do. This is just Florida. Yes, I mean, it's pretty much any state with public records, but you're going to be able to do it like that. But watch this. Are you guys ready for this? Watch this. So we're going to open up DeBerry because that's where that came from, right? So what we're going to do is I am going to copy this article. We're going to look at, this date. I'm going to do a public records request of a public records request. Should be no redacting. So what we're going to do here is we got the IT director. This guy's pretty nice. I met him. He's really cool. He's in one of my videos. A really nice guy. I'm talking about like way nicer than you can imagine. And like super helpful. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this. We're going to go over to our email address. And we're going to compose. And the reason why I'm showing you guys this right here. Let me see this question. Yeah, I did this out. Get in there. I can't post any comments. It's weird. So the reason why this is very important is because you can do existing public records requests and incur zero charges because they're already released to the public if you want to see what's going on. So we're going to...
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Solo Yacker Show.
Did I die out?
I don't know what happened, man. I was on the screen by myself.
Oh, shoot. Sorry about that.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm back. So what did we miss? Everything?
No. We know that you're emailing DeBerry about that your public records requesting a public records request.
Okay, so yeah, that's what it is. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to come in here. We're going to type in public records request of existing request. And I just always title hello. I let you know. And I'll grab that this record here. You got to be specific, otherwise they'll just deny it.
Yep.
I mean, like
Very
they will
specific.
yeah. I'd like to request the following: the article. I'm asking in here, the article that comes in here, that attorney, what's his name? Doug Daniels. I gotta get rid of some of this stuff. There we go. Attorney Doug Daniels. Please. And then I'm going to go down here and say I'd like a copy of what was released to him previously. There we go. That's it. That is all you have to do. And what we're going to do on that is we're going to be getting a copy of what he was provided, and then we don't have to have them redo the work and do all that. And you get it for free. You can do this with body cameras. You can do it with reports, documents, anything that you want to. So, all right. Yes, I did that. Had a question. It says, I have a question. In one of your videos, you mentioned that you were caught for 10 years. I was just wondering if you looked out for people's rights like you do now, or did you have a outlook back then? No, I was pretty good because I was just having a talk with Solar Yacker last night, and we were talking about knowing the laws and things like that. And what occurred was that I told Solar Yacker last night, I said, I can tell you every law in Florida that pertains to doing the everyday police work, sitting in a patrol car or a motorcycle. I can tell you every single law that is pertinent to that. If you ask me a question like, is this illegal or not illegal? I will tell you yes or no. And if I don't know it, say for instance, I don't know it for whatever reason, then I will not stop the person for that and say like, I need to figure it out. Like you see in some of my videos, I think you've done something, I'm going to stop you. And then I'm going to go research it really quick, particularly the drone control one. So with that, again, knowing all of the laws we're required to, so therefore, why don't they know all of them and then they enforce them? So they have that extra tier. And granted, we all are human, so you might forget something, but if you're not sure, you don't act on it. That's all you have to say for that. So, so back then, yes, for rights, I always looked out for it, made sure that I didn't violate my rights. If I inadvertently did somehow, like held someone for 21 minutes, whatever the law is, over the time, which I don't think we had back then it was something that wasn't around or about that I knew of.
Yeah, that's a good question. And that's, a lot of the things that I do, I always, if I have questions, I reach out to James Madison about it. And usually he gets back to me and he tells me, he usually gives me some kind of statute and I actually have to read and go through it. And some of it I understand most of it, but some things are just so extensive. I'm like, I get it, but I don't get it. So.
And just a disclaimer, I'm not practicing law with him. I'm just pointing him directions on where he can read something about it. I'm not giving him advice or anything like that. That does it. And same thing here.
He's not my lawyer.
This is not legal advice to get you out of some type of thing. It's showing you how to do it. It's giving you an example of what they have, regurgitating it to you, and putting it in some terms that you understand.
Yeah.
Because it's annoying to read the statute. Because the Florida statutes are crazy. So. All right, so let's answer some questions in here. Yep, 400,000 asked for a breakdown to computers all the work. I did not get a response. That's right. So Save the Humans says, sorry for being the stupid one, but you're not. You're okay. But how do you know there was already a records request? You would ask them. You can ask them for the specific, how many records requests you had that week and have them forward you those records. It sounds really weird. It usually blows their mind when you first tell them, I'm like, I'm doing a public record of a record request. And they're like, what? You have existing records. I want copies of what has already been requested. And they're like, oh, okay, I got you. Ignorant Pleb says, typically on the website where I found my records request. Yep. Mr. Rasset has said advice. Dr. Chambers says, Florida Statute 119. You two should not have to be careful there in talking about. Oh, that's right. They're pissing me off. Where can I find the state rules on public records, James? Yeah, it's Florida Statute 119. And then I linked that book in here. That little book that I've put in here is wherever.
The Sunshine Manual.
Yeah. It's wherever it was. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere up here. Let me grab it really quick. But it's the Florida Statute 119, as Sean Barrett was indicating. Illinois. Just Google Illinois Public Records Manual or Law. You should be able to find it that way. Must be scary as well.
That's a good question.
Michelle Evans, why did you leave being a police officer? Was your current occupation besides of freedom hunting? So I'm self-employed and I do online sales of different things. I sell products. They're up in here. And here. It's hard to see them, but just sell them. See what y'all made me do.
Don't.
So I left because of money. It was really money because I started at 11.10 an hour full time, and then I went to like 14, and then after like 9 years, whatever it was like $14.80 or $16. My valuations were always really at, like if you had a scale of 1 to 100, it was always like an 80 to 100 range or 80 to 90 range, and no one got past 90. It was just what they did. It was always like 80 because if you got over the 100, they'd pay you a 3% raise. 80 was a 2% raise. That's what they did. It was really weird. Ignorant Pleb is asking, pretty right, would you consider yourself chilled? I think he's referring to the legal term of chilled. Save the Human started at the post office for $5 an hour. See what they are now? You guys want to see, specifically what this one is? We'll look up Daytona Beach.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to know what these post office people are making, man. It's going to be frustrating.
It's going to be very frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
So Valerie Young is still making $5.72 an hour. 733. Man, this must be in like some weird place like Osprey, Florida. Let's do the legit one. Let's do Daytona Beach. Filter. All right. So we'll sort this by salary. The minimum salary in Daytona Beach is $17 an hour. You ready for what some of the customer service people make at the desk?
Oh my gosh.
Here's page 2.
Oh my God. Carrier technician.
$66,000. That's someone
$66,000. And what? Just drive? I'm guessing that's just the carrier that you're driving around stuff.
Yep. And then Carrier City is this, like a janitor, building equipment mechanic. He probably knows a little bit more, like knows how to fix some sheets. $65,000. Well, this is just Daytona Beach, you guys. This is Daytona Beach. So 162 entries of employees at this one place making minimum $17 an hour. I bet if I go to page 4, it's still like right in the 17. Oh, jumps the salary. Carrier making $36 an hour.
$36 an hour.
Now, granted, they work there. Yeah, it's a big club, but they, some of these guys have been working there a long time. But what I joked about with one of my friends is like, man, if these people, like, they should be like coming in white glove service to you guys if making that much money an hour. When I look at it that way, it's like, wow, like rub my back while I'm there. So you're making a lot of money sitting there taking my postage. All right, back to the questions here. Brandy has a notice claim regarding the incident of false charges and misuse of the sheriff's office to retaliate and intimidate. That's awesome. So, if Brandy, I haven't gone to notice of claim before. I've done it with public records, but a notice of claim is what I think is Brandy says to the city, listen, you guys have done this to me. I'm sending you a claim for the amount of money or correcting the problem. And here's what you need to do to correct it. And they should reply to it and say, like, sorry, or ignore it if she specifies a certain amount of time or days in there. And then after the notice of claim is given, then she can go to sue. And hopefully get a judgment.
Yeah.
It says, imagine how corrupt the hiring process must be. Yeah, you got to know someone. It's always been that way with the post office. Like, good job, and you get benefits, and you get this.
Yeah, if I ever got a government job, I would actually, like, anybody that wanted to come in First Amendment audit I'd be like, yeah, come on in, guys. Come on in. Bring it. Let's go. You're my best friends.
Yeah. I don't know how many people we have watching here, but I want to say thank you guys for coming up and hanging out. Is there any questions at all? I don't know how long. I'm probably just going to end it here and just let you guys know about the public request. May not keep this video up, so if you do have questions about it, feel free to shoot me an email there at jamesmadison@gmail.com or soloyacker1@gmail.com. Is that what it is?
Yeah, Soloyacker to Soloyacker. Just send Soloyacker@gmail and you're going to get a hold of me. It takes me some time, man. I get a lot of emails. I've been getting a lot of emails recently. I don't know why or what happened, but I've been getting a lot of emails. And that's good. I try to respond to as much as I can. Hey, Solo, just to rib you a bit, I can't open carry at all ever here. I would.
Oh, I like your opinion on this new Ruger 57 as that happens to be.
Yeah, I'll come and open carry, but I don't know. I don't know where you're at. I don't remember where you're at. But yeah, me and OVT, we're trying to get up to Pennsylvania and open carry all the way up, and all the way back down from Florida to Pennsylvania and back.
That'd be a good time to do it now, like when I don't have work and all that to go.
Yeah. I would tell them I'm going fishing in Pennsylvania. That's the first thing I'm going to carry, like, the pocket fisherman with me and Sam fishing.
To do that?
It's essential.
I mean,
I'm essential.
Okay.
My issue is going to probably be, like, when you go through states, it's one thing, but what about when you come back and they're like, oh, you were just where? Oh, you're on a 14-day quarantine now, and that's what I don't want.
Yeah, you might get that, or just don't answer.
Yeah, that's what OVC was like. Yeah, just don't answer. Just give me your ID. You're like, yeah, I'm in Florida. I'm going home. Where are you coming from? Doesn't matter. I'm going home. I live in Florida. Leave me alone.
Unsuppressed says James doesn't need rouge. He has the natural blush. Thanks. No, this is me. I got burnt last night when I went outside and there was like 1%.
Yeah.
All right.
It doesn't take much.
So any other questions I can answer with you guys? Baldy says, don't go to New Jersey. Two are completely different. High pleb, unsub, fist bump to unsub there. Y'all have the best luck at work. Thank you. Take care. There. So Iago says, any difference in requesting criminal records from police and sheriffs, and will these records show court dispositions? Sometimes, but you're going to be getting, you have a charging affidavit. Then you have what is it called when you charge someone? It's in the courts. I can't remember. It's like a charging affidavit, but then there's one step over that. So you have to go to the sheriff's office and then go to the court and find out what the disposition was. But a lot of places are online. You can search. Like if I type in, like this is another one here. This is what? All right. A lot of places have your public records. Like this is our local clerk here. So if I type in case inquiry and come under here, you'll jump in. Let me see what this does. So we'll do, I don't know I'll just type in Smith because that's all I know. maximum of 5 records. So we're gonna do Smith RR and see if there's. I got to narrow it down to try and get a couple Smiths in there. There we go. So you can come in and see all kinds of different cases if you know their information. And like there's State of Florida versus Rebecca Smith. So that's Rebecca Rose Smith. That's where that RR came from. And this could be defendant. It could be any type of a case in here. And it's just basically they're going to, you'll have to look up the disposition. Like we look at this one here, we'll look up in here and you'll see that it has the different parties. It's going to have the docket, which is the information, all the entries, court events. This particular has assessments. So if someone got a final amount of $900 assessment against him, or the judgment was against it's still pending too. So. But there's a lot of places you can go up and look and find that stuff like that easily, so you can get it really quick and easy. Thanks, B Squared, for putting that email in there. Igo says, thank you. It's been a tough time getting clearance from my past records in joining the Navy. I mean, the Navy should be able to tell you what that issue is. Save the Humans says, whose upper did you pick, Solo?
It was Bear Creek Arsenal. Bear Creek Arsenal actually, when I did my giveaway, they reached out to me and they were like, hey, can you review an upper? And I was like, yeah, but I'm looking for something short barreled. And they were like, we'll send you a 7.5. And I got a 7.5 inch side charging handle from Bear Creek Arsenal. I found out I put my hammer spring in backwards, and that's why I was having issues with it with light primer strikes. So I got that fixed, and I mean, I love the thing. It's super loud. That's all I could really tell you about it. Super loud, really accurate at about 50 yards, 30 yards, and that's what I wanted for close quarters. Inside the house, inside the car type of gun.
So Brandy White just mentioned this in here. We talked about that notice of claim. So they have 180 days after the What the hell is that? Don't
they're throwing, they're throwing something away.
So it has 180 days after my submission of my notice of claim before I can file suit. So you have to tell the city you're going to sue them, and then you have to sue them. And that's basically what that is there. So she is going to do that. I hope successful, because I know she's going through a lot of different. Let me see. Yeah, I did that. Says an idea for your merch. Think about adding quotes from your videos. I did do one on my videos there.
Yeah.
It's like You're Dismissed, established 2019. That's Solar has got his Living the Dream.
I'm actually wearing my merch right now. Living the Dream right there.
Yeah.
I've got this shirt, got a bunch of other ones. I got like Armed Fisherman. I've got shirts that actually have like the entire statute on it. Whenever you click on any video that you watch of mine, just below the video, you can see all the shirts. Go to my Teespring. I think James Madison, he has a Teespring as well. So we are making shirts. I've been lazy about it. I haven't been making new shirts, so I need to start making some new stuff. And yeah.
And I would love to. I wish I could find someone that could like design the shirts for me and then do some profit sharing or just help out with that. But I just don't have. I need to focus in more on it a little bit. So
yeah.
Oh, here we go. We're gonna look at this here, and I'll show you where the shirts are. So down below it, you'll see like down here. This is it right here. I didn't do many. I just did this one. So let's look at it too.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to click on the shirt so people can see it, man. Jeez. There it is, right there.
It's just a stupid little thing I put together. And then you can come in and you can get it like on that. I gotta figure out the pricing because that's $15.99 is all right for a shirt, but I don't.
Yeah, I mean, in a lot of my shirts, I make a couple bucks off of them, but I've lowered all the pricings on most of all the shirts. Like they have like a recommended, but you can raise the price or you can lower the price however you see fit. I'm trying to get the I'm just trying to sell shirts.
Yeah, I did that. Fiverr's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know if Fiverr does like a direct link like Teespring. Teespring, all we have to do is let them know that we have, I believe it's like 10,000 subscribers. Once you have 10,000 subscribers, you just kind of set it up and it automatically does it for us. Like you don't.
What I think he's saying to like get your designs made on Fiverr, then put them up on your shirt.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Like I did these here. It was just a silly one. It's just bad cock, no donut. And that's about it. I need to make some more, I guess. It's all right for those typos. It's okay.
Yeah. Where is Windermere? Is that in Orlando, like up in the Kissimmee area? Where is that?
I think so. Look it up on a map. Ooh, there's lakes around there. So wow.
Yeah.
So Windermere is a little tiny community right on the other side of Orlando, where Disney area is. I don't know where Disney is, but it's got to be right around here because it's always Orlando, and then you go further and it's Disney. Right there.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Whatever. I mean, his name's whatever, but yeah. And I don't even know that. I've heard it's depending on certain things, it could be up to a couple of years, but I don't know. That's a good question for Mr. Madison there.
I didn't see it. Where's it at? Whatever. Oh, how long do the cops keep recordings before they are deleted? If it's their body camera footage, I don't know. Let's look it up real quick. I can only do Florida, so I don't know. So 18 months is New York City or New York PD. I don't know if you guys are seeing how I'm searching, but that's how you have to use these search portals here. New Orleans is 2 years, it looks like. I thought I put Florida. I honestly don't know. I know that the police departments, if there's an event, like when I say event, if there's some type of a specific event that an officer says he needs to save it, then it goes into a separate area. But it might be 30 days or it might be 90 days. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never gotten a definitive answer on that one either. Like I've heard it, depending on, like you're saying, depending on the type of event, if it's just like, you know, they had to turn a body cam on just to record there was an incident and nothing happened, sometimes that gets deleted or it goes away. But if there's like some kind of criminal, until I guess that they would have to keep that until either the resolution of whatever happened or whatever. So I've never gotten a definitive answer. I've heard 30 days, 60 days to 2 years.
So there's all kinds of stuff right here. I just found the statute for it. It's 943-1718 body camera policies and procedures and the statutes. And I looked up the word retention because it came to my mind here. So the retention of it says general guidelines for proper storage retention is there. Agency permits its officers to wear body cameras shall ensure that person maintains the body camera and lawful policies and procedures. Ensure that all people release it, etc. And then C says retain audio and video recorded by body cameras according to requirements of statutes 119021. So now we got to jump over to 119021. And I don't see years. It doesn't say that there's this time frame in here. I don't see.
Nah.
There's no word retain. I don't see it in here.
Yeah.
just I don't know unless it just says you have to retain them indefinitely. I don't think so. Kept in building where they're ordinarily used and so practical, custodian archive records, fireproof safes. Record books should be copied, repaired.
Yeah, and one thing I've learned about some public records, like I've requested stuff that came from a Congress or a senator, and they said that they, after a couple of years, or after I think it's like a year, some of the things that they either shred it or they get rid of it. And I'm like, how do you get rid of anything that, long as they're in office, everything that they do is public record? So how can you get rid of something that I should be able to get at any point while they're in office? And once again, it breaks down to I've never had a definitive answer on how long they keep things or what they can keep and what they can get rid of.
And it doesn't say that. Body cameras, it doesn't say anything in there. So this is good research. As I search the word years, days, everything.
Yeah.
See, and then this is Department of State that has this one. So it says here retention on generals. This is for law enforcement corrections. It says retain until obsolete, superseded, or administrative value is lost. So we'll go to the next one.
Whatever, you did a good job because it got our brains stirring, and you know, it really. Go ahead, bro.
It says video recording patrol units. It says here retention 30 days. Visitor access records. This is for specifically for whatever agency this is, though. So they must be able to make their own policy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, there's so many different words of retention in here, so I don't even know where. If you have to put retention in there so much, you might as well just keep it forever. So it looks like 1 year, 3 years, different types of different things in here. So it's just all kinds of crazy. All right, I think we're going to be finished up here. Let me see if there's any other questions. This is Parent Dome is saying, why aren't citizens' purchases, body camera footage, records stored on citizens-funded servers accessible to citizens absent permission fees? Because probably they'd have to have someone record keeping that, redacting it, because they could come across someone that has, child, minor sexual abuse, domestic violence, and then there's no. I get what you're saying, but I think anybody could go in there and grab it and embarrass someone. I don't really do it.
Yeah, I've when I was in at a mom's demand action thing, and there were tons of kids, and I got the body cam footage, and like at one point in the video, all you just see is all these little black dots on every kid, everywhere, and that's what that's all about, is redaction. Do I agree with it? Not all of it, but I get it. So
yeah, I'm just catching up on doing. Had an officer. Parent Dome asked here, does not officers comply with policy in presenting their ID or certified law enforcement in compliance with policy and training? Have had it only happen twice. Policy and presenting their ID or certified law enforcement. So he opened up his wallet and showed you his ID, not his Florida driver's license, but his state issued ID. I mean, department issue. I think that's what it is. It's public represents of crime, not a problem. Police are not essential. James, why do you ask about the logbook? Is there something? Save the Human says, James, why do you ask about the logbook? Is there something I don't know about? Are you talking about the one in where I was like, hey, let me look in the logbook, or are you talking about Victoria's Secret? Save the Humans. Police ID. No, but I mean, I've had mine asked for a long time ago. I was like, hey, do you have your ID on you or something like that? And I go out my state issued ones. What else? So if you guys aren't already subbed, you hit Soliaker's channel, sub to him,
Yeah, sub all of us.
sub all of us. Even if you're in here, drop your channel in here now. I think
Yeah, make sure you're hitting that like button before we get off here. Hit that like button, smash it, do all that good stuff.
sub News Now South Florida. You're hilarious, but it's South, yeah, easy. What's up, man? Yeah, Save the Humans. I'm gonna finish up with your question unless any more come through. The sign-in book. I think I think he's referring to this one. We'll check it out real quick. Is it? It's with Rossi, right? There's no audio on this one, but is it this one you're talking about right here? That login book?
The login book. Oh, I'm going to do a public records request on that book.
Is it this one? I think this is it.
And didn't you have one with like Victoria's Secrets or something?
Yeah.
Did you request hers?
I did. I did not do it. I did not. All right, so Save the Humans. This one was just a funny one because I was going in here and Ocala had messed with one of our friends. And we went in here and just talked about it really quickly, and I saw it out there, so I knew this was going to be a trigger point, and that's why that happened. And the other one is this one here. Again, there's no audio. You guys can. This one's kind of funny, and it's gonna watch it. What it is I'm going through here, just doing some video. This poor lady here is just like wanting to get away from me. There's that book. Uh-oh.
Victoria's Secrets.
I still don't know what's in this book. If you guys want to do a screenshot of that and ask what's in it and do a public records request to figure out what is in that book, feel free. Check the ability to see what's in there.
Yeah, I'm curious now. I want to know. So somebody do it.
Yeah. So what I did is she's there and I saw and I was like, what is that? A lot of the times that could be a warrant book. It could be something she's working on because she's working nights or something like that. And ultimately it could be just something, I don't know. So I asked her what's in it and then she's like, I'm not telling you what's in it. And then she flips it over.
And then she flips it over on you. Whoop. No more secrets for you.
And I was like, hey, what's your name? And then she's like, I'm not telling you my name. And I'm like, oh, public records request name. So. Well, I think that's going to be it. I appreciate you guys coming in here. B Squared says, is your question, if your question was a mystery, you have more questions, usually we'll discuss further, please feel free to email jamesmassotts@gmail.com and Soliaker. Yeah, you can do that. Appreciate it.
Works for me, man.
Sadie Human says, James can be such a Richard. Fing, love it. Fing. Mr. Rasper says, does your sunshine law apply to only executive branch information, or does it go beyond that to legislation? It's the entire state of Florida. Anybody in Florida.
Anybody.
Yep. All right. This video may not be up, but I'll leave it unlisted, so if you guys want to rewind back and watch any more of it, live videos are just annoying to rewatch anyway, so I just take them down.
All right, man.
Is that it?
I'm going to say I'll see you later, bro.
Brandy says 6 months after. I'm getting ready to finish up. 6 months if it's not cycles out after 6 months if it's not tagged with a case number. All right, there we go. I say Demons B Squared. Thank you guys, all you guys. Ignorant Club, all of them. Appreciate you guys. Soliaker. Deuces.
Deuces.